I'll kind of give a synopsis too, so that way you kind of know what happened. So, back eternity ago, you guys kind of came back to Diamond Lake, and the town had been destroyed by a dragon, which was Ilthane, which you guys had tried to attack before. And you guys met Eridus, and of course he ran off before he could steal back his loot that he had taken from you guys. You guys came over to the cave entrance, and that's when the black dragon attacked you guys. You guys are kind of way out in the open, but you guys were able to close the gap pretty quickly and killed her. And then it's a /. You can just drag it on my character. Or, oh, no, you can't. That's right. So then you guys killed the dragon. I think, did you guys take dragon hide? I can't remember if you guys took the dragon hide or not.
We left it because
It was heavy, or it wasn't worth anything, or something like that.
It wasn't really worth that much.
Okay, and then so what they did is they went into the Whispering Cairn, and if you look at the map, that's kind of the entrance to the Whispering Cairn there. Here, let me open. One part of it didn't get open, so let me open that real quick. So they kind of came into the Whispering Cairn, and there was a sort of on the right side, I don't know if you remember, but there was a lot of boulders that had kind of blocked that way. You probably don't remember, it was, 6 months ago. But anyway, so there was some boulders that blocked there, but it had been cleared out, and there was a portal kind of right to the west of where you guys are at now. And let me think how that worked. Somebody tried to go through it. I don't remember who tried to go through it.
Yeah, I tried to go through it.
Yeah.
Got
attacked by something. He didn't know what it was. So then he came back through, and then you guys kind of snuck back in again and attacked it. And it was sort of like a shadow ghoul, or kind of lived in the portal itself. And so you had to be in the portal to be able to fight it. So you guys were able to defeat it, and then you guys came into this room here. And this room was a room that was kind of filled with smoke, and it had screaming wind kind of blowing through it and rushing through, and was quite loud. And there was all these little hollow projections along the wall that were making the noise. And then it made it difficult to hear and speak. And then there was 6 Belkers, which essentially are kind of like smoke creatures that can solidify into actual beings, but they can also turn into smoke. And so initially, you guys were surrounded by them, and you were fighting, and they were all in physical form. And then they all went into smoke, and they all tried to get into Cormer, trying to have him inhale them. So eventually he inhaled one, and two, I think, didn't you? Yeah, he inhaled 2 at one point. And so every time it was inside, every turn, it would do damage, and he'd have to try to cough it out. And he was having terrible rolls, so he couldn't get it out. But finally, he coughed them both out, and then you guys were able to defeat him. And I think that's where we're at, right, guys? Does that sound about right?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at. So so you guys are in this room. Cormer has just finished coughing it out, and you guys had destroyed the creatures that were there in the ghost form. Towards the east, you guys see a opening to a room that is lit with sort of kind of like a greenish type of candle that's kind of candle light that's kind of floating around inside there. And the floor here has some dust on it, but not a ton of dust. So it doesn't look like it's really been used that you can really tell. So and that's kind of where we're at.
All right.
And here this was that was what they fought in the portal, and there
Thing
was
comes out of its mouth and does something.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a tongue. Yeah, and then this was the portal itself. So if you guys look behind, you still see that portal is there. So, and I think that was all the pictures we had. So you could see them.
The net came out of the portal?
It was actually in the portal, so you actually had to be kind of in between trying to inside the portal or right next to it to fight it. And they couldn't hit the portal because it would probably destroy it, so.
Ah.
Alright, what would you guys like to do?
A little bit, whatever. So I'm not a good leader. Right?
No worries. You guys want to continue on to the east there? Or?
Yeah.
Do it.
Alrighty. Oh, I still have them locked. I'm sorry. Let me unlock them real quick before you guys move anymore. All right. There we go. They should be unlocked. Should be unlocked now.
Nice. Stealth.
So, Cormer, as you kind of get closer there, what you see is it's a kind of a tall, almost looks like a temple-like chamber that's there. You see that the ceiling is sort of slanting up from the other side as well as on your side. You see a set of double doors that are all the way across from where you're at. You see sort of these, you can kind of see these little, they look like little stick things that are on the map there. So those are sort of strange clusters of spikes that kind of stick up from the floor in two areas, almost like barricades, to be honest with you. And as you kind of get closer there, you see that the room is has another set of double doors to the south and has a set of double doors kind of over to the north as well. I don't know if you can see them up there. Did I highlight them well enough? Let me grab it a little bit better here. Kind of up to the north. So there's a set of doors to the north, there's a set of doors to the east, and a set of doors to the south. And then on the walls, you see that there's these sort of runes that are kind of written kind of all over the walls, sort of in a kind of in a wave-like form around the area itself.
Do I notice any traps?
Yeah, oh, thanks for the perception. I'm sorry, I missed the perception roll there. So you don't notice anything that appears to be any traps in the room. I see Bose's stealth, and then Bose, you have perception there?
Yeah.
However, Bose, you notice that there appears to be a pressure plate right next to one of the spikes. I'm going to highlight it for you. Right there, you see a pressure plate. And you actually see several pressure plates kind of surrounding the floor in various areas as well. So hang on just a second. But they look a little bit more displaced. Almost like they've almost maybe been triggered.
All right. I guess I will see if I can disable that.
Okay.
Nearest one.
So the closer you get to the black marks, you actually notice that they're not. They've already been triggered. The orange one has not, though. The orange one is still there. That's okay about the square border. No big deal. Go ahead and did you do a disable? You did. You kind of tinker with it, and you think you probably got that disabled. Looks like you got a little piece of wood stuck in there, or whatever you wanted to use to try to disable that trap. So
Gave it a wedgie.
Gave it a wedgie.
All right. All right. So I'm pointing it out, and then so it looks like these other ones have already been triggered. You're saying?
Correct. At least from your perception roll, that's what you feel.
All right. I will work my way across, leaving those guys back.
All right, so you sort of step on those little little plates in the ground that are there, and they wiggle, and you feel them kind of slide down, but nothing happens.
And let's see, there's a door across. There's also doors north and south. So south,
Yes.
east, and north.
Correct, and it looks like, obviously there probably was. It looked like there was some doors here, but there's not. Where you guys came through. So.
All right, I'm gonna move back down this way.
All right.
Let me know, and I'll put it in there.
Alrighty, that sounds good.
Stealth, having traveled.
Yeah. So when you get to there, whoa, sorry about that. I forgot I had that on there. So you actually see just in front of those doors is something that looks like sort of some more trigger or some more pressure plates that are in the ground just in front of that door, both on 5 feet area there.
All right, I'll point them out to the others and try and...
Oh my god, I'm trying to erase these, bear with me.
That's right. Oh, and yeah, when you do the lines, it kind of, it's very frustrating. It's like, undo.
Yeah,
I
it
need to bring an
stinks.
undo button for that stupid
Yeah.
drawing tool.
There we go. So they're kind of those two squares there. You can see them highlighted like a light green. So those two squares in front of there, you see that there's something there. Want to bring Chingo in too if he's coming around as well. Okay, so you try to, let's see, what do we got here? Okay, so you do kind of the same thing you did before and try to sort of put a thing in there to help hold it together, and you feel like you've probably got a pretty good thing in there.
All right, I'll move up by the door and
Yeah.
listen and try.
Sure. So as soon as you step on there, you do feel that the plate moves. And after that plate moves, you sort of see this white vapor kind of shoot out of all these holes all around the wall, around the entire building, or the entire walls around the building. And it forms this sort of smoke type of thing that kind of actually plays out as like an animated picture. So what you see is you actually see one of the Wind Dukes on the field of a battlefield, and you see him kind of fighting and twisting against many demons, kind of going around the room, almost like a theater in the round type of thing. And as this happens, you see that the Wind Duke sort of forms an alliance with a powerful, almost godlike creature, and you see him kind of fighting through and whatnot. And towards at the end of the battle, you see that he ends up holding this large square seal in one hand, and he has this long rod or staff in the other. And no matter where you are in the room, it appears to you that he is actually standing in front of you, sort of holding these things out to you, almost as if he's trying to give them to you. And then as the smoke is kind of there, the smoke is sort of kind of wafting across the room, kind of coming in towards the center, about 10 feet. And so anybody that's within 10 feet of the wall, the smoke all of a sudden has this very putrid type of smell to it.
Are you?
And it's kind of a poison gas. Who failed? Cormier. Good old Cormier. So, Cormier, hang on just a second, buddy. We're going to get you here. Cormier, can you roll 2d6 for me? And then the rest of you that got affected, so Bose, Carl, and Chingo, 1d4, 9. All right, so Cormier, you take 9 dexterity damage. Oh, let me do a short rest real quick, sorry.
I must have ate some beans or something.
So, Cormier, I don't know what your dex is normally, but that's got to be pretty close. And then, who out of these other guys wants to roll a 1d4? Anybody?
Yeah.
All right, thanks. What'd you get? 4. Nice job. Good job. So,
For everybody?
yeah, I'll apply it through the effects there. Unless, Mike, are you going to restore them?
Yeah, it's just 3 that got it, right?
4, I think, actually. All 4 of them did. They just got differing damage. Chingo got it, Bose, Cormier, and Carl. The pets all got tore up.
I'll probably get Cormer first. I'll use restoration on him.
Okay. I'll apply it to the pets just in case you guys decide not to go that route. So.
I'll delete the money here in a minute. Let's see.
Oh, that's right. It costs money. I forgot.
Trying to see how much it is. How much I cure for. I haven't done the full restoration yet. Oh, so it dispels temporary negative effects. Negative level, so it works like lesser, but dispels temporary negative effects and 1 permanent negative effect. Oh, it's only 100 gold. Where the permanent is it a permanent negative effect, Greg?
Until it's removed, so
It's not a negative level.
it's not a negative level, no.
Oh, okay. So it's just 100 gold pieces, and I do it like lesser. Let me find lesser.
All right. Cormer, what did that put your dex to? Did it put it to 1? Oh no, you have lots of decks. You got lots of decks, man. You're good. Yeah, you'd be fine.
It only does 1d4. All right. Well.
All right, so 3. So he's now -6. So he feels a little bit more less clumsy, I guess.
All right, guys. I'm not going to be able to heal everybody. So out of the last 3, which 2 need it the most?
My dex is pretty high, so it'll reduce my chance to hit, but I have a sustainable dex. Do we need to get out of this cloud too?
No, the cloud's dissipated. It's gone.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So don't worry about me, I guess, because I have a high enough dex to that I'm not suffering penalties. I'm just not going to hit as well.
Okay. All right.
Is that for Cormier again? So
That's for the other 2 guys.
All right, so it's Carl. That would be a -1, and Chingo too, because it was.
Is this restoration or lesser restoration?
He used restoration on.
Well, restoration should take it away completely, shouldn't it?
If it's full restoration, yeah, it's going.
Yeah, right. It's the whole thing, isn't it?
I was
Yeah,
wondering.
it's lesser that goes the 1d4.
Yeah. No worries.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So Cormer's healed, and then the other 2 are take 3 away, so they're only at 1.
Okay,
Sorry.
and bows as well, or just the other 2?
I don't have enough for bows.
Okay, bows. You're on your own, bows.
Oh, that's all right. We'll
Unless you want Chingos.
I don't know how much Chingo's going to be doing in here.
Yeah.
We can find another horse.
Well, thank you.
I love it.
The only little thing I got for my ranger.
I love it. Either way, I'll take it off of either one. You just tell me which one.
It's up to bows.
I guess take it off of me. He's got
All right.
he's got a decent dex.
Okay.
Still
So
have a 12 dex instead of 16.
all right. So Cormer, it was completely taken off, and then you used less restoration on the other 2, so it'd be -3 on both of them, or 3 less.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
gotcha.
no.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll take care of the
Yeah.
cash.
You're not a druid. It's okay for you to have a disposable animal.
That's true. That is true. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so so you're at those doors, and I think you took a listen, right? But there was a lot of wind that was blowing through there, so you didn't hear anything.
Okay, is this still blowing a lot of wind?
No, the wind is now gone. Once it kind of went up there.
All right, well, I will attempt to do then.
Alrighty. Give me a listen again. You don't hear anything on the other side of the doors, except for you hear a little bit of a like a little, almost kind of like maybe a slight like breeze type of sound, a little like wind or something like that. But
Like a monster breaking wind because it's so scared I'm coming through.
yes,
Got it.
exactly.
All right. All right, I'm gonna open the door.
Alrighty. So you open up the door and you see a kind of an intersection of a hallway that kind of goes down, and there's it's kind of lit by 6 flickering orange and yellow lanterns that sort of float around the statue that's in the center there. And the statue itself is a statue. It's a full-size statue of a Winduke, kind of wearing some robes, and they appear to be kind of stirred by a breeze almost. Then the figurine, it kind of looks like something of like has a symbol of like justice or war, or something that you've seen kind of in some arcanic books and whatnot. And he kind of holds this glittering sword kind of outstretched in one hand, and he carries a balance sort of in the other. The statue is about 8 feet tall, and he stands on a 4-foot tall pedestal. So, all in height, it's about 12 feet. The ceiling in this entire area so far has been about 15 feet high, just so you know, except for the room you guys are in now, which is 40 feet. But so he kind of stands there, and in his right hand he's got a glittering sword sort of held out in his hand, and an outstretched hand kind of balanced right across his hand in the middle. And then on the other hand he has a balance, you know, kind of that you would see, you know, to weigh, measure money and things like that.
It's a sign of Aquarius.
Yeah, kind of.
All right. I will try and meander that way quietly.
Alrighty.
About there, so I can look down the hallways.
Are the walls made of stone, Greg?
The walls are made of stone. Yes, they're of really nice ornate cobblestone, and the walls actually have sort of really nice drawings. You guys remember in the Whispering Cairn, they sort of had these little holes that were there and kind of some scribbling of a language you guys didn't understand, and you still see that, but it's very ornate and it's very clean. I mean, the room looks good and it's very clean, and then Bose, I saw you kind of walk in there, so you're a lot closer to it, and you know, as you get up to it, you see that it's definitely a statue. It's not animated. It's not a creature or anything like that. And its face is, you know, doesn't really have a face necessarily. You know, has some eye sockets and some lips, but you can't really discern what type of creature it is. It's just sort of this human, almost human-looking creature, similar to everything you guys have seen before. And he's just standing there holding it. And then, Bose, as you come up to that corner, you see some light footsteps kind of in the dust, which was very not noticeable before, and you see him kind of take a turn to the right. So as you're coming down that passageway, you see these footsteps kind of go to the right, and there's a door off to the right, and you see him go through that door, kind of in the dust.
And they're very unnoticeable?
I mean, now that you go back and look, you can actually see that they had come through that door and were in the other room. You just had missed them the first time you came, when you guys were walking through before. But you definitely see footsteps through there. They look like human boot footsteps, you know, like slipper type of things. And they definitely walked from the room you came from, went around the corner, and went into that next room.
All right. All right, I'll meander that way.
Okay.
I'll wave one of the guys up so they can.
Alrighty.
Or whatnot. There's another perception. Else is out the door for traps and listen.
So as you look, you do see now that there's some ruins on the floor that you missed initially in this hallway, and I'm going to highlight them for you real quick. I'll actually mark them. And you see ruins kind of scribbled on those 4 cobblestones on the floor that you didn't see when you initially came in.
And the boot prints do not go over those.
No, they don't. They actually avoid them, it looks like. Almost like he was walking to that southern one right across from you, and then you see the boots kind of just take a small jog and kind of stick to the path you took. You're going to listen at that door?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Alright, no problem. So, and that was your perception check for listening to the door? Sorry.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Yep, so as you listen through that door, you don't hear, let's see. You actually do hear some sound. So what you hear is sort of kind of a, almost like a hum. You kind of can hear this little hum that is sort of there in the background, but you don't hear anything else than a hum.
All right. I'm gonna go back and say I hear a hum beyond this door. Should we listen at the other doors and see if I hear anything alive? I don't like being caught in one room. Just at our back. I'm a little nervous about it.
I think everybody left you, Bose.
Did you hear any voices?
Nope. Just a kind of a hum, a little.
I wonder if it's a Lustin. I wonder if he betrayed us. I don't know. I say we charge him.
Corm, are you going to take a listen to that room?
Yep.
Give me a perception for me. Damn. All right, nice roll. So as you're listening to that door, you hear sort of like, oh man, it almost sounds like a crackling sound. And you kind of hear it in the background there, and the door feels hot. You can actually feel the door feels warm to you. And you hear somebody in there talking, kind of all the time, like he's talking to something.
I'm going to vote for this door.
All right. And why? Why do you vote for that door?
Talking.
So to the east.
Yep, to the east. That's the door that he hears a noise in.
All right, and I'm pointing out these other ones where I believe that I have some traps or something.
Alrighty. Are you going to leave Chingo in that other room? You just have him large because if he has that one a day large thing, or did somebody? And I don't think anybody enlarged him. I don't think so. I'm not sure why he's large, but we can. Is he supposed to be normal size?
Yeah, he's.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me fix him.
He can be. He has once a day. He can. I think it's the saddle or something or other can allow him to large or something.
All right.
But
Hey.
normally I wouldn't have him doing that.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Cormer, did it sound like
horses
ooh?
normally large?
You know what's sad is that exact
That came
same
to my
song,
mind. I thought about that.
except
You thought
I
it-
just controlled myself, which is saying something.
You thought it was ooh? I bet you ooh told him we were coming.
People would say, "What? Really?"
I hope not.
I was. I don't know, Razik. That's what I was wondering too. But okay. So, what do you want to do there?
All right. If I can be sneaky and quiet, I'm going to try and open the door quietly. That was the stealth roll. I just
All right.
see if I can see what's going on in there.
Okay. Second. Yeah, I'm not sure either. To be honest with you, I thought that was maybe the case too. Maybe that's why we had him large. So, all right. So it's fine. We can figure it out as we go here. You can maybe have him. I don't know. Kind of make sure he doesn't step on the area or something. All right. Let's see here. And then this. So as you peek into the room, you see, you feel this real hot sort of air. As soon as you kind of open the door, it sort of shoots out almost like a furnace. I mean, it just this huge hot air kind of blows into you, and it feels real superheated and almost like it's out of a forge. And you see that the floor is entirely covered with glowing hot coals. And in the room itself, it's kind of an odd-shaped room. It's sort of, oh boy, there we go. There's the pencil thing again. It's kind of a square room, and it has these little alcoves, kind of these triangular alcoves sort of cut out of the edges there. And
So
there's a set of doors kind of on the far end
Rogan, I'm gonna do it.
of the room. Inside the room, you see a fire elemental and a fire salamander. And the fire salamander is talking to the elemental and saying, you know, about how he was telling these stories about how when he was on this the fire plane, how he was considered a god and he kind of controlled everything that was there. And as you kind of open up that door, you see the fire elemental sort of put a kind of a hand up, and he turns and immediately looks at you. Roll for initiative.
Bastard. Bastard, bastard, bastard.
Bards.
It's going to lag for a second. There it goes. They're going to pop back up here. All right. Everybody's got their initiatives rolled.
No, groups.
And Carl and Razik are still.
Alrighty.
Well, Carl falls next to Razik and he can go next to mine, but.
All right. So, as you guys, as he turns around, you hear the fire salamander sort of peeks around his corner, and he says, "Well, well, well, we have company." So yeah, he kind of looks right towards you guys. Says, "Well, I guess we should allow our guests to come in, don't you think? What do you think, Smogged? Come on, let's let them in." Now, just open the door. Come on in. It's okay. We got lots to talk about. I apologize for the heat. You know, I know it's a little hot in here.
I don't want to go in there.
Oh, sure. Come on. Nobody bites in here. You can just come on in.
Maybe Chingo should go in first.